Hey there YouTube, Jordan here, and we are back with episode 3 of the Modtweaker Modtweaker tutorial thing. I think this is episode 3 anyway. As you'll see, I've got a few things laid out here, and if we look in our modtweak.zs, you'll see I've got a lot of recipes here. And you're probably thinking, well, Jordan, you haven't gone through them. And the reason why I haven't gone through them is because I actually have, but, well, I forgot to turn my microphone on, so, yeah. So there was no sound on them videos. So I'm going to actually just quickly go over all of these recipes because I'm not going to be typing out all the script again. So I think we can do 4 mods in one episode. So let's get on with this. We're going to be looking at thermal expansion. We're going to be doing the redstone furnace. We're going to be doing the pulverizer. We're going to be doing a induction smelter. We're going to be doing the magma crucible, the fluid transporter, and the sawmill. And then for mechanism, which is going to be the second mod, we're going to be looking at precision sawmill. I'll try and slow down a little bit so that I can say the words correctly. We've got a crusher, we've got the osmium compressor, and a metallurgic infuser. Then if we go over here to tank construct, which we'll be doing third off, we've got the drying rack recipes, we've got casting basin recipes, we've got casting table recipes, and we have alloy recipes. So yeah. And then when we move on to the final one, which we'll be doing, which is Humanicraft, we'll be looking at the assembly stuff over here and the pressure chamber over here. So with this one, we'll be looking at the drill and laser, the laser and the drill for that, because there are recipes for all of them that you can do. So let's start off with the redstone furnace. So I'm just going to annotate these today, and I'll show off the recipes in action. So, with this one, we'll be going from over here, so I'm just going to do that. So, the first number is your RF, and then you have your input, then you have your output, and times amount. So, what this one is very simply doing is saying, well, basically it's the same recipe as we got for our normal furnace. You cook up some wool, you get 5 string. That's just normal. And then if we go on to our pulverizer, because we got a lot of because there was already a pulverizer recipe for wool, well I thought, well, we'll do something different. Balls. Let's just do that. So it's RF input output second output, so I'm just going to put 2 output and chance. So what this means is when we put in string with 100 RS, it will give us a slate somehow, and there's a chance to get some stone out of it, as in the Ex Nihilo stuff. So when we put in our string, we didn't get our secondary chance that time. I mean, if we were to just go grab a stack of string and put that in, you'll see there is a chance to get stone. It's a 10% chance, so it's not the most likely thing to get. So we're going to move on to the induction smelter now, which, as you can see, I already showed off the recipe, which when you put in some coal, like, I think it's coal, no, it's charcoal, I think it is. It's charcoal? I can't remember what I said to you. Yeah, it's charcoal. So with this one, the induction smelter, again, it's pretty much the same. We've got our RF amount it uses. We have input slot 1, put input slot 2, and I put an amount of 3 for that, so you don't really need that. And then you have output 1, because the induction smelter has chance of getting stuff, but output 2 and chance. So basically, we've got a chance of getting stone at a 25% chance, but for some reason it doesn't seem to be a 25% chance. Also, the induction smelter is extremely slow, even though I'm saying only use 100 RF. I think it just goes at a set speed, unlike the pulverizer and the redstone furnace, where the lower the RF amount, the quicker they go. Next up we have the Magma Crucible. So I'm just going to skip the sawmill for now and go to the Magma Crucible. Magma Crucible, this one is again pretty much the same of RF input and output fluid. So usually this is not a recipe in a Magma Crucible. When you put in coal, it takes, well, because it's so quick, it just goes straight in. When you put in the coal, it will turn it into liquefied coal, which is going straight into here for me, because that's the next recipe, which is the fluid transposer, which is pretty simply your RF, what you put in, what you get out. I'm putting input, get in and get put out, put in and get out instead of input and output, because this can be changed like that. That this only works for a fill recipe. For some reason, the empty recipe doesn't work. And then liquid it uses, and how much. You have to put how much, or else it's just going to use one thing. So, the transposer, this one's a pretty simple recipe. When we put in string, we get coal out of it. It's not much. Then the sawmill. Sawmill is a very simple recipe as well, which is when you get your RF with your input, your output, and second output with the chance. So if Minecraft would respond, there we go. When we get our wool, put the wool in there, and it will give us some string. I didn't set it to give X amount of string, I just put string of 1 because I was lazy. I mean, I could change that to, say, string 5, or because it's a sawmill, we'll go string 8. No, sorry, that's the wrong thing, that's why I was looking at it like, that makes no sense. String 8, because it's a sawmill, and cutting up wool, you'd expect to get more. So we're going to just reload that script. So now when we put that in, we get a lot more string. Pretty simple, really. And we're getting stone in the secondary output because I was just going with stuff that I had values for. I couldn't be bothered to set new values. So that is it for thermal expansion. Pretty simple. Obviously, I'm skipping over stuff quite quickly today just because I've done it before. I don't want to be spending too much time. If you do have any questions, ask so in the comments below or on the FTV forum thread, and I'll reply with whatever help you need. So next off, we have mechanism. We're going to be starting with the crusher. This one is a very simple recipe. No RF amounts here. It's just I need to put some notation there so it knows that this isn't a recipe. Input and output. Very, very simple. So when we put in stone, it just takes a minute. Well, it takes as long as it takes this to go. And we get ourselves... Is it stone that I thought it to do? Not stone, is it? Slate. Oh, right, okay. So when we put in a slate, it will give us stones. I was wondering, that doesn't look like a normal recipe. So, just wait for that, just to prove that it works. There's our stones. What's next on the list? It is the infuser. So this one, it works by first saying what you're putting in this bar here. So we're going to be putting carbon in. How much carbon? 30. We've got 10 in there. So we're using 3 coal in this recipe. So, what should we call this? Should we call this, we'll call this buffer because I think that's what it is. Amount in buffer, input and output. So, with this one, when you put in a stone, you're going to get a slate out of it. So yeah, this isn't very balanced for a mod pack, of course. This is just showing you how you could balance one, I guess. I'm not very good at balancing stuff, I'm sorry. So, that's the metallurgic infuser. Next up we have the compressor, which again, it's really simple. Got input and output. So with the osmium compressor, you need to have osmium in there, so I was going to get some of that. Osmium. So put the osmium in, put in your 4 X-Nilo stones, and you get yourself stone. Yeah. Very, very stupid. Very stupid recipe, but I don't care. Then finally, the precision sawmill. It is input, output 1, and output 2, if I can spell. And then chance. But the chance seems to be a bit dodgy because if you put in a stone, you'll see that I said it's a 5% chance. That could be a 1 in 5 chance, but I always get the secondary output, so I don't know about the secondary output. You might just want to leave it as null. I don't know. So, next off we have pneumatic craft recipes, which is very simple. It's input and output for everything. For everything here, it is input and output. And then for the pressure chamber, so just going to put here all assembly recipes, and I'm just doing it all in caps so you know that it's not part of the recipe listing and stuff. And then for the pressure chamber, it is I need to put these in some sort of notation. So what goes in? So input, I guess. Input pressure amount, so it's going to use 2.5 bars. Output, and if it is a block. So our output here is a slate, which last time I checked, a slate is not a block. So let's just turn that to date. And this is just how I have it set up, so I can just put stuff in. I'm going to put in a couple of stone, and some of those stones there, which is the recipe which we use to make our slates. If you look over here, 2.5 bars with stones and X-Nilo stones makes us slates, and that will put all the slates into there. That was obviously because there was still some stuff in there. Anyway, the next stuff, that was pretty simple. I'm just going to move on to Tinker's Construct now, which is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to start with the drying rack, which is pretty simple, as you can see down here. More of Tinker's Construct, drying and recipe. Put string in, get wool out, and it takes 1 second to do this, I think it is. There we go. Pretty simple. We'll just put stuff on the drying rack, and it turns it all into wool. Not bad. So, I'll just put it on. Input, output, and time. And then I'm going to move on to the alloy recipe next, just because this is easier. So, alloy to make. So we're going to be making liquid iron here. So alloy to make. And then over here in these brackets is what makes the alloy. So when we put in coal and lava, we make liquid iron. And as you can see up here, I've already added a recipe of how to put coal into a smeltery. So input, liquid plus amount, and this here is what to look like, and it has to be a block. So I put liquid coal because not liquid coal, a coal block, because a coal block is pretty easy to make. Oh, liquid plus amount, and I also forgot that there is the. Yeah, I have to move that back a bit, aren't I? Then there's this one here, which is heat required. So this requires 100 heat. Let's just put our coal in there, and as you can see I've already got some lava in here, so it will turn it all into the iron, and there was 16 there before, and now there's 55 ingot science, obviously. And 100 over here, you see 200 iron. The bucket isn't 1000 in here, it's 1044 or something like that. I can't really remember. Now, for the casting recipes, which is what we're going to finish off with, these are pretty simple. These are, let's get it there. What to make, so we're going to be making coal blocks. Liquid to pour, so we're going to be pouring liquid coal, plus how much, and then these are going to be, the next one is what to pour onto. I'm going to put a comma there. What to pour onto, whether to consume item, and time of conversion. So what this means is, when I'm going to have to empty that out, so let's just empty this out of lava, which it should be doing. Oh, I need to do that first. There we go. Empty of lava, because I don't want lava to be in there, because otherwise it's just going to convert stuff, which I don't want it to do. So I'm going to get some coal, get that cooking up, because we need the liquefied coal, and we're going to get the 2 items that are required to make the coal block, so, which is stone on the casting table and dirt there. Let's just make sure the liquefied coal is on the bottom, and then I'm just going to show the difference in time by doing this. Gonna pop that there. Redstone on top, because you can activate these with a redstone signal, and do that. So they're now both going to fill up with lava, or should do. I guess not. But you see, that one took a second to convert. This one, when it fills up, it takes a little bit longer. But both of them make a block of coal. I do apologise for this episode being a little bit fast-paced and not really going into much detail. That's just because I spent half an hour talking about both of them, and I don't feel like doing it again. I will try and make sure that I don't do this again. Next episode, I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. Maybe Buildcraft and Railcraft? I have no idea. But anyway guys, I do hope you enjoyed. Until next time guys, I'm John, and I'm out.